What if humanity isn't the end of the line? What if we're not the finished product, but just a bridge to something else? Today, we are diving headfirst into Friedrich Nietzsche's wild and challenging masterpiece, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. See, back in the 19th century, the old certainties were crumbling, and Nietzsche was one of the first to ask the really tough question, what comes next? We're going to follow his prophet, Zarathustra, and unpack the absolutely revolutionary ideas he dropped on a world that, frankly, was not ready for them.
And right out of the gate, Nietzsche just throws down the gauntlet. I teach you the Ubermensch. Man is something that shall be overcome. Now, this isn't about, just being a better person or some self-help goal. No, this is a radical call to see all of humanity as something to be surpassed, a tense rope stretched over an abyss. It's a transition to something entirely new. Let's dig into what he really means by that.
So how does this incredible journey of overcoming even start? Well, it doesn't begin with some dry philosophical argument. It begins with a character, a prophet named Zarathustra, and his journey down from a mountain. And this descent, well, it sets the stage for everything.
Okay, I want you to just picture this for a second. A decade, 10 years of total solitude way up in the mountains. Zarathustra has just been soaking up wisdom like a battery charging to full with only an eagle and a serpent for company. But now, he's full. He's reached his limit, and all that wisdom he's been gathering is about to be unleashed on the world below.
He says, I am weary of my wisdom, like a bee that has gathered too much honey. It's incredible, right? His own insight has become a burden, a weight that's just too heavy for one person to carry. So he feels this powerful urge to descend, to go under, as he puts it, just like the sun has to set to give its light and warmth to the rest of the world. And this act of going down, that's where our story really kicks off.
So as he's coming down from his mountain, the very first person he runs into tells him everything he needs to know. It's this jarring reality check about the world he left behind and the massive challenge that's waiting for him.
He meets this old hermit, a saint living in the forest, a guy who's devoted his entire existence to God. They have a quick chat, Zarathustra continues on his way, and then it hits him. This profound, world-shattering realization.
And this is just staggering. This old saint in his forest has not yet heard that God is dead. Now listen, this isn't some triumphant shout. It's a quiet, almost horrified observation. The entire moral foundation of Western culture, the thing that gave life meaning for centuries, it's collapsed. But some people, like this old man, are still just living in the rubble, and they don't even know it yet.
So Zarathustra gets to the nearest town. He tries to tell the crowd about his incredible vision of the Ubermensch, and they just laugh at him. They mock him. So he has to switch tactics. If they won't look up at what they could become, fine. He's going to force them to take a hard look at what they are becoming.
He starts describing the last man. This is what happens, this is the end result if humanity chooses the easy way out after the death of God. It's a creature whose only goal is comfort and safety. They think they've invented happiness. They take no risks, have no great loves or hates, no ambitions. They just blink. For Nietzsche, this is the ultimate nightmare, the absolute dead end for the human race. Okay, so if the last man is the dead end, what's the alternative? This is where Zarathustra offers a whole new purpose. Since all those old goals from heaven have vanished, we now have to create our own meaning for ourselves right here on this earth.
And here the choice just becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? We can settle. We can choose to become the last man, happy with our tiny little comforts. Or we can strive for the Ubermensch, the one who creates brand new values and becomes the meaning of the earth. The Ubermensch isn't waiting for a purpose to be handed down. They are forging it themselves, right here in the chaos and beauty of real life.
Now, that sounds like a monumental task, and it is. So you might be asking, how does a person even start on a path like that? Well, Nietzsche doesn't give us a simple 5-step plan. Instead, he gives us this powerful metaphor for the psychological stages you have to go through, the journey of the spirit.
He calls it the 3 metamorphoses. First, your spirit has to be a camel. It proves its strength by kneeling down and taking on the heaviest weights, tradition, duty, all the thou shalts of society. But you can't stay a camel. Then you have to become a lion. The lion is a rebel. It fights the old dragon of tradition and says a powerful no. It destroys the old values to carve out freedom for itself. But even the lion can only destroy. The final and most important stage is becoming the child. The child has innocence, a new beginning. It's able to create its own values, and it says a sacred, joyful yes to life and to its own will.
So what's the end goal of all this? Where are we trying to get to? Well, according to Zarathustra, there is no final destination. That's not the point. The point is not to arrive somewhere safe. The point is to embrace the dangerous, thrilling, beautiful journey of becoming.
And this final image, this might be one of the most powerful in all of philosophy. Humanity is a tightrope stretched between our animal past and our future potential. Life isn't about finding some safe, solid ground to stand on. It's about the terrifying, exhilarating act of walking that rope over the abyss. The whole point is to keep moving forward, to embrace that dangerous crossing, even with the constant risk of falling.
And that really is the core challenge of Thus Spoke Zarathustra. It's a call for us to become creators of our own meaning in a world where all the old signposts have been torn down. It's an invitation to embrace the danger, the beauty, and the incredible potential of just being human. Thanks for joining us for this explainer on Nietzsche's powerful work. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.